thinking of Mediterranean food, which is like olives and pita bread, and I don't think that's the Mediterranean diet, but that's what I associate with Mediterranean food.
Probably using olive oil for cooking instead of butter.
Some cucumbers, falafel, tomatoes, maybe some pasta.
Venison, because I'm always on the go.
Either Chick-fil-A or chicken and fries from the grill and a Dr. Pepper.
I eat meat every day.
I probably only eat seafood like once a month. There aren't really a lot of seafood options on campus.
As you can see, Wake Forest students have a varied understanding of what the Mediterranean diet actually consists of. While the diet does include olive oil and vegetables, it is so much more than that. The Mediterranean diet is a plant-based alpha-linolenic acid-rich diet associated with lower risks of chronic disease and longer life expectancy. People who follow the Mediterranean diet usually eat a variety of non-starchy vegetables, unprocessed whole grains, olive oils, red wine, seeds, legumes, nuts, and seafood. Their diets are low in meat, dairy, and starchy vegetables like potatoes and corn. These foods are packed with fiber, essential vitamins like vitamin A, C, and B12, and are extremely energy dense. The nutrient-dense and holistic approach of the Mediterranean diet promotes healthy digestion through fiber metabolism in our gut microbiome. The benefits of eating a Mediterranean-based diet are expansive, as it lowers cholesterol, LDLs, and oxidative stress, as well as increases insulin sensitivity and overall immune functioning.
So for starters, where the Mediterranean diet comes from is actually a much more broader area than what people usually think. So the Mediterranean diet has to do with all the countries bordering the Mediterranean Sea, not just Greece or Italy, which is what some people assume when they hear Mediterranean. So areas like Northern Africa, Southern Europe, and then even some parts of Asia all are part of the Mediterranean diet. Another myth regarding the Mediterranean diet is it's just simply changing your diet from cooking with butter to cooking with olive oil. While this is a component of the Mediterranean diet, there are a lot of other aspects. For starters, a big part of the Mediterranean diet is consuming an array of different kinds of vegetables and whole wheat. Another thing is that a lot of people who subscribe to the Mediterranean diet try to really lower their meat intake. And thirdly, as it is a Mediterranean diet and it has to do with countries that are coastal, a lot of people that eat the Mediterranean diet consume lots of fish and other sea creatures as their main source of protein. And the last myth that a lot of people tend to believe is that the Mediterranean diet is just that, just a diet, when in reality, it's much more than just a way of eating, but instead a lifestyle. As a lot of people that live along the coast near the Mediterranean have active lifestyles due to their jobs and their occupations, people who subscribe to the diet also try to incorporate an active lifestyle where they're working out and just incorporating lots of physical activity into their everyday life.
Alpha-linolenic acid is a type of omega-3 polyunsaturated fatty acid that can be found in nuts such as almonds and hazelnuts. These omega-3 fatty acids have been found to lower LDL levels in the blood, which benefits overall heart health. Studies support that the omega-3 fatty acids and fiber that can be derived from the Mediterranean diet also have been shown to lower overall cholesterol by greater reabsorption of bile in the small intestine and uptake of LDLs in the liver. Another study showed that phytosterols from plant-based foods also lowered cholesterol by competing with cholesterol in the intestine. On the other hand, foods in the Western diet, such as milk and red meat from ruminants, have been found to have the opposite effect on lipids and in turn increase cholesterol levels. Increased oxidative stress and chronic inflammation have been associated with cardiovascular disease. Although the mechanism is unknown, nutrients supplied by the Mediterranean diet have been found to reduce inflammation as well as increase resistance to oxidative stress through antioxidants. The Mediterranean diet has 2 times more insoluble fiber than in the Western diet. Insoluble fiber has been shown to decrease firmicutes and increase bacteroidetes, which produce short-chain fatty acids. Production of these short-chain fatty acids from dietary fiber has been shown to decrease autoimmune disease and allergies. In addition, it has been shown through multiple studies that adopting a more long-term diet, like the Mediterranean diet, will have more lasting and beneficial effects to the microbiome community than short-term dietary changes.
So my family is from 4 hours northwest of Madrid. It's a little town called Villafranca del Bierzo. And what we do is, eating is way more of a social activity than any kind of just feed and go. So lunch is pretty much your main meal. Lots of beans, so we'll eat something like a garbanzo bean soup every day. And more of the incorporation of major food groups like fish is really big. That's our biggest meal. And then for dinner we have a smaller thing. It's really more about the social setting than what you're eating. So it's called sobremesa, which refers to the activity of sitting around the table after dinner for a few hours. It literally directly translates as over the table. And so we sit for hours. We'll eat dinner at like 10 and it'll go until like 12 or 12:30. And it's more considered a family gathering than the opportunity to eat for the night kind of thing.
Some staple items that we usually have, souvlaki, which is a type of pork that he puts on kebabs and we eat. There's a lot of grilled vegetables, beans is a big one, spanakopita, Greek salads, potatoes.
In terms of the social aspect, you eat a lot slower, you eat less, you're more focused on talking and enjoying the time with others, so kind of just enjoying the flavors and the company together.
There's a lot of differences. One, he always likes to say Greek prayer. That's very important before every meal. Make sure everyone's at the table, no one gets up, and the food's very family style with large portions, as I said. And it's more of not just eat and then leave. It's let's eat, share a meal, talk about our day, have a conversation, relate to each other, and great food.
The primary benefits are cardiovascular disease risk, so fewer strokes, fewer MIs, fewer cardiovascular disease deaths, and morbidity from cardiovascular disease. Well, it is recommended, I think, by doctors that are more up on nutritionally sound diets. My doctor, for instance, does that. So the other things that they try to limit, or the things that are kind of hallmark of that diet, are moderate fish and poultry consumption, less red meat, wine with meals, but not heavy on wine, and then of course the olive oil, the limited dairy, but they do eat cheeses that are like the white cheeses that are not as heavy fat in those. And all of that can be done here. Heavy vegetable consumption. They eat a lot of tomatoes, a lot of tomato-based sauces. They eat pasta. They eat a lot of olives in addition to the olive oil that's added to the diet. But they cook with that as their fat rather than our animal fats and saturated fats that we tend to eat here.
In conclusion, there are many overarching health benefits that are attributed to following the Mediterranean diet. Examples of these benefits include decreased risk for cardiovascular disease, stroke, myocardial infarction, hypertension, diabetes, and obesity, and lowered mortality rates, cholesterol levels, LDLs, and triglycerides. So next time you're in the pit, maybe go for some Greek salad and cooked salmon. You never know how much it could help you in the long run.